Yeah, Mouse Sports Mana. He is in the green trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the southeast.
And as I said, Huck is not making it easy for me. He's not making it easy for the Team Liquid staff. All the viewers at home, I'm sure Huck has a million fans right now tuning in to watch him and to kind of cheer him on from not losing so early in the group stages. That would be a disastrous if he went out now versus Mana.
Yeah, it would. It really would be very unfortunate. But if anyone was going to take him out, I think it would have had to be Mana. Mana had so much strength right now. He's playing incredibly well. And it's not going to be long, really, before Mana is just a major international competitor on all levels.
I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, he's sorting his weakness out, which is EVP, and he's performing a lot better in that matchup now. And now he's complete. He's got all these 3 absolutely excellent matchups working just how he wants them. And can he compete on this large of a scale? And this is large.
And the question is, what does Huck do in a matchup like this? He's just played a bit of a longer game. It went to 2 bases once again. Not amazingly common in PvP. Very much an aggressive 1-base matchup. What does Huck do here? What is his option?
There are so many options for him to do. I mean, PvP is so razor edge that he can literally do anything. It's all going to come down to control, and it also depends on what Mana decides to do. Because in PvP, you can't really be like, all right, let's do this build. It's going to work out fine, because it does depend a lot on what your opponent's going to do. So we're going to have to follow to see exactly what both do. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Huck 4-gate. I mean, he was very strong with that in the first build. Obviously, running up against a lesser count of gateways and a lesser count of units, we'll have to see how that will go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he does try some kind of aggressive strategy like that, and whether or not he does the classic 4-gate with the cutting of the probes at around 20, or whether he does the Huck-style 4-gate, which I've actually seen the bizarre 4-gate with the sentry warpings and things like that, and that was actually used versus Zerg in the DreamHack final, as I recall. Don't know how effective it would really be in PvP, though. Whatever the case, we will find out soon enough.
And once again, we have Mana skipping that Zealot. Oh, actually, no, he's going to get it this time. So
interesting.
This could be Mana throwing out the 4-gate at Huck. And depending on who's the defensive, who's the aggressive, can make the world of difference, because it's a lot easier to defend against 4-gate with 4-gate than it is to actually be the aggressive.
Yeah, it's also interesting that Mana immediately took that assimilator before Huck actually got into the base, and I have to wonder if that was a deliberate decision. The Zealot's not really going to be able to drive that probe out of there unless Huck decides that he doesn't want to be there right now. In the meantime, if we have a look at Huck's base, he's actually only got the 1 assimilator. His probe count is now at 20. He has stopped building probes, which to me indicates only one thing.
He's going to do it. Can he pull it off, though? That's the thing. And I'm looking at Mana's base. He's only got 2 in gas, actually, on that right-hand side assimilator, which is really interesting. I think that's a bit of a mistake there.
Maybe.
But we'll have to see. I mean, what is Mana going to do this game? And I think that he knows. I mean, he has control of the Xel'Naga Tower, and he sees the Stalker and Zealot coming down, but he doesn't quite see this probe, and in goes the probe. This time, Huck doesn't lose that probe straight away.
Yeah, and that's the vital thing, really, isn't it? Crevasse is a really big map to be doing this on, and Mana actually could see that, oddly enough, according to my viewpoint anyway. So it's interesting that he should choose to ignore it. I think he's just simply moving back to fall back to his base, creating a gateway wall off right here in order to try and hold up against this. And of course, the destructible debris is going to make the initial attack just that little bit harder, and this will be, of course, a defensive 4-gate of his own.
I'm actually on the edge of my seat. Even though it is a defensive 4-gate, which naturally has an advantage, Huck is just so faster than Mana in this.
Yeah, he is.
Mana wasn't really planning to do this. He's like, oh my god, okay, I need this. I need to get my 4-gates out. So he's got these 4-gates down. He has a double pylon here, and he has basically walled off, which will help out a lot here. And we'll have to see, will Huck be able to bust through this? I'm not too sure.
It's really knife edge one way or the other, which is exactly what you would expect. Mana has pulled everything out of that right-hand assimilator, so he's only using 1, which is, once again, to be expected. Very, very common. Mana has a sentry warped in. That will certainly help him a little bit. Now, Huck's going to have to work his way through these rocks, which will take maybe another 8 to 9 seconds. So Mana's got a little bit of time to get this gateway up. Another aggressive pylon right there by Huck, which gives him quite a few options if he's able to get up this ramp. Should be able to warp past that directly. And there we go. 4 warp gates available for both. The unit composition is currently in Huck's favor.
Yeah, it is indeed, but Huck does have that advantage. He has more units out right now. The force field's got to be critical, and Huck does not want to lose any units right now. This is all about it.
Yeah, it really is. This is what it all comes down to right now. How much damage can Hook really do? Can he annihilate these gateways? That will certainly give him a great advantage. And that was a good placement of the force field. However, there's a quick warp hit from the side right here as Hook charges into the left flank of Mao's Mana's force, who has been forced away from his wall off and now is in a fighting retreat across his base. There's a Zealot warp in right here to try and deal with that. The question is, does he have enough units? It's not looking very likely. Down goes the sentry as well, and a lot of Stalkers have been picked off, but there's still a ton of Zealots, and Mana's got to be really careful with his micro now.
Oh, is he going to get the pylon? The pylon goes down, which powers down one of these gateways, and that is so critical for Hook right now. On the verge of knocking out Mana, well, not knocking out Mana, but winning this game, more importantly, and it's all about the control now. But Mana holding on.
Mana holds, and what a good hold that was. That was extremely well played, considering he also lost a pylon. Now Hook has been thrown back, and the question is, what does Hook do? Does he continue with this aggression? He's not adding on any more probes, so this to me is pretty much all or nothing. He's warped in a single Zealot past that line since he was able to do so. What will he be able to do with that? That one gateway is still down, so while Mana does have a slight economic advantage, Hook is still able to pile on the pressure, and Mana's got to be incredibly careful with his units.
Yeah, Mana has 2 probes more than Hook right now, though there's the biggest difference, and Hook is going to lose that Zealot very easily. Oh, he managed to stay alive, but he will pick that off immediately. And right now, 5 Stalkers versus 5 Stalkers, but there are more Zealots here, and more Stalkers being warped in.
Yeah, big aggressive Stalker warp in. Yeah, he nails down one. Mana focusing it down right here. The Zealots are doing an incredibly good job. Hook really needs to micro much harder than that. And Mana looks to try and pick that one off. Will he get it? Yes, he will. And once again, Mana holds. And he's looking really, really strong right now. He's got a good force of Stalkers. He's got 5 now, 6 in fact, moving in. There's some free Zealots for him if he's got good micro here. And then he's going to come in with an aggressive counter push.
And this is really bad for Hook right now. He is on the ropes and potentially being knocked out now. Mana just powering through, having those 2 extra probes making the world of difference now. And you can see that as he's powering through. What is Hook doing in the background? He is now chrono boosting probes, getting the second gas. He will not give this fight up. He will not go out easy.
No, absolutely not. The thing is that hold from Mana was absolutely exceptional. It was superb. It's exactly what we expected from Mana, and he's surely just not going to hang around. He'll nail down the pylons, and then he will push back, and Hook is going to be hard-pressed to bring out enough units in order to deal with that.
Yeah, and he's going to take rid of that initial pylon down there in his, well, south of his base. He's going to take down this pylon as well once he gets vision. There it goes down. Now Hook is in a big disaster area now. He basically, once this destructible debris goes down and an aggressive pylon is placed, this is going to be almost impossible to hold. He has a sentry and 5 Zealots. That's it.
The absolute efficiency of Mana is boggling my mind right now. I'm looking at resources lost, 2,425 for Mana, 4,175 for Hook. That is an unbelievable piece of efficiency. And Mana even bringing in a Forge right now, so we're looking to try and get some upgrades at some point. If he gets repulsed here, it's going to be a hard defense for Hook right now.
And Hook knows this route. He's trying to get some Stalkers out now. He cancelled the gas, he cancelled the probes, just squeezed one more probe. He's building nothing but units, and he's going to have to pull probes off to defend against this.
There is no real choice. That is an incredibly aggressive pylon right there, up the ramp of Hook's base. Hook holds back for as long as possible and looks to try and flank attack. He places down a really good force field, which is, of course, blocking off some of the mobility. That said, Hook is really fighting hard right now and taking a huge amount of damage from those Stalkers, and there's no way he can really respond to it either. The Stalkers are free to just wreak havoc in Hook's base. Right now, however, Hook splits off 2 of them, and he's able to nail down another, but here's another aggressive warp in right here from Mana. Hook is rapidly running out of units right now. There's even a cannon going down. I think it's in his base, but yeah, this is not really relevant. Right now, Hook pulls the probes, and Mana does the best he possibly can to smash his way through. Hook is really trying as hard as he can to hold it, but it is looking increasingly unlikely that he'll pull it off. He looks for a good surround. He's not able to get it. He runs them right into the Zealots, which of course is absolute massacre time. An additional warping of Stalkers, and right now Hook has very little left.
Oh, this looks like the end of Liquid Hook in this tournament.
GG, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Mana with a very impressive display of PvP right there.